Let's see if I'm lined up here okay. A little bit more maybe. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so what I've been playing with is, let me grab the stamp set here. There's so much on my table. Frosted Gingerbread. And this set is just really pretty. It makes great cookies. Let me show you my cookies. I made iced cookies, iced gingerbread cookies. Just a minute. Get that throat cleared out. So these are two of my gingerbread cookies that I made that were really fun to do. And this looks like icing on them, you know, and they're made out of the new, it went out of my brain. Let me grab it. It's a new craft paper that we have. It's a 6x6 craft paper, and that's what I cut them out of. And so they really kind of look gingerbready, whereas our crumb cake is lighter, and so they don't look quite like a gingerbread cookie. Okay, so that's one of the things that I've done. And then we'll set that aside. But this comes with all these stamps, of course. This is a really neat stamp to put along the edge or a border of something. And then it comes with all these dies. One die is missing. That would be my bell die. And we're going to use that today. The nice thing about these dies are, look at, they line up inside of each other. So if you want to cut a solid, you'll cut it with this one. If you want to cut the design, the bell with the design, you'll cut it with that one. But there's also a third option, and that's to cut an outline. So if you were going to do something and wanted to put the bell in an outline, you'd put the two together, and you would get two bells. You would get this bell, your outline here, and then you'd also get this piece because you're going to cut it. So you would get that piece. So that's kind of like a bonus if you were really wanting that in between. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing that they do sit inside of each other and they fit that way. And you could cut that little piece out. They have little pieces here to cut out the little peppermint candies. There's ornament, a star, and I guess a cookie. A snowflake. How about a snowflake cookie? So that is what I have been playing with for the last 24 hours. So one of the cards I made was this beautiful bell. And it made me think of silver bells. White Christmas, silver bells, something like that. So today I'm going to show you how I made this. And our silver paper comes with 3 different patterns now, 3 different colors basically. And so it's got our silver, it's got a brushed silver, which is kind of purpley, and it's got almost like a gray silver. It's a purple, it's a dark silver. I don't know if you guys can really see that. It's just the 3 of them together, you can see the difference there. There's so much difference in them. And this being brushed, it just gives a different look. So I made one out of each one. So I made one out of the silver, our regular silver, as we would know it. And this is the brushed silver. So it's really pretty. But it doesn't really go with the silver ribbon or the silver greeting here that I embossed. So I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air whether I like this new brushed silver or not. It's kind of purple. But today we're going to make it out of the third one, which is kind of like this, but it's not brushed. But it's kind of got a gray color. So what I've done is I cut a piece of that silver. Let me grab my card packet here. So first I have my card base, which is 5 1/4 by 8 1/2, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Blah. And then I have my piece to emboss. Now, when I started looking at this, I said, what do I want? And I decided that the best was probably This is embossing powder here. This is our silver embossing powder, but I like this one better. And so I'm going to show you what I did here. So I took and put my greeting on a Stamparatus, and I have an Encore pad, which is from last year. I'm sure you can purchase these somewhere if you don't have one. And if you don't have one and you don't want to do this, I did this side in gray and then just embossed it. And I'm going to use the same kind of thing. So when I did this one, I used my Encore pad. The Encore pads are just as juicy as the Versamark pads. And so I just put my paper in there, pressed it down, and my greeting is stamped. However, I did go ahead and emboss it with clear embossing powder. So what did I do with my clear? I put it away. So after I had stamped it, I went ahead and embossed it for a couple reasons. One, it dries faster that way. And I don't know, it just seemed like that was what I wanted to do, was emboss, right? Okay, so then I came out with this beautiful piece right here, just like this. So let's put that away. And I know these come in all different colors. And so, or you could emboss with silver embossing powder if you want to do that. If you already have it, go for it. I mean, that's the easiest way to do it. Okay. Then I took my let me get all this moved over and get this out of here for right now. I'll lose my bell. Okay, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And so as we know, these come with the platform and a number 2 and then 2 number 3 plates, which we usually use. Now when you emboss, you're going to use just your standard platform, your number 1, okay? And this is the embossing folder that I'm going to use. It's Merry Melody. And I'm going to tell you, this is Joy to the World. The music is Joy to the World. And you see these numbers right up here? This 2 and 3 and 2 and 4. Okay, that tells you that the music goes that direction. Okay, so when you're embossing, I'm going to slip this in here, and I'm going to find a place that has very little embossing, as little as possible for my my greeting, so my greeting doesn't get embossed any more than it has to be. And so I am right there. So I'm in between, kind of in between the bars in order to emboss this. And I'm just going to straighten it out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to put it in, of course, fold first. And I'm going to use plate number 4 because this is designed for embossing the thicker embossing folders. And just go ahead and run that through. Sorry about all the movement. If you go to run it through and you get stuck, it means your plates aren't lined up. So always check your plates on the sides. If they're off on the sides, then it'll make it really tight to run it through. Either that or you have the wrong plates in there. Okay, let's put this aside. And we'll pull out our greeting. And now our music is going the right direction. And our embossing is the right direction. Okay, so then what I did is I cut a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of that foil, and I cut all my bells out of that. So you can get all 4 bells out of that. Just be careful, you don't want to go too close to the edges around here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my card front. Just being careful once again. put glue where I need it. And just centering it. Okay, and then I'm going to come back with my embossed piece here. And you will need to heat emboss this because when you do the greeting, it is heat embossed. I just didn't want to turn the heat gun on, and that's why I went ahead and did one to use instead. Okay, then I have my bells. I have glue everywhere. Okay, so for my bells, for this type of the image, I like to use the Dots Mono adhesive. It's about the only time I use it anymore. We used to use it all the time. But because it sticks, the dots stick where you need them and not all over. If I used my other adhesive, it would leave adhesive everywhere. Or you can use a sponge or a dauber and the liquid glue. Let me show you how to do that. Let me grab a dauber. Okay, so we'll take a little liquid glue, squirt it on our silicone mat, take our dauber, and we want to get it all over on our dauber, and then we're just going to put it on the back of our image. And that is really the absolute best way to do it, because you see I have no glue showing, and then I can just attach it to my bell. And it does give you a little bit of a movement where you can move it a little bit. So, okay, then I'm going to attach one bell directly to my card and just tip it over that way. The other bell is going to go on with dimensionals. And I'm just going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. And join them at the top, kind of. So you can see the glue dots on that one. There's a glue dot right there. It looks not nice, and one right here. Okay. Now for this one, I decided that I didn't want to do the silver cord because it's so purple looking. So I have a little bit of our crinkled seam binding, the very end of my roll, and I'm just going to tie a knot here, or tie a bow. I could tie a knot, huh? This stuff is a little challenging to work with. I have two pieces here together. It makes it, to me, it makes it a little easier to tie. I want to do two pieces at once. And this is one of the ribbons that you could color. And then I'm going to just trim my ends here, and I'm going to trim them differently. Maybe not. Okay. And put that on with the glue dot. Just like that. And there we have silver bells. Very simple, but it came out really pretty. Okay, now I'm going to show you what else I've been working on, because this is going to be an upcoming class. Let's see if I can get this cleared off enough to show you this. Okay, clear it off. Okay, so this coordinates with the set that I just showed you. However, in this class, you will not need any stamps. But what I am going to have a special offer. If you buy the stamp set, I will include 5 extra cards that use the stamp set. So these are the cards that are from my upcoming class. I use the gingerbread, the Frosted Gingerbread Memories and More kit is all I used for this. And so I'll show you these. Let's see if I can move that off screen so you guys can see these as I bring them on. And I'm waiting for the video to catch up so I know where I am. Okay, this one. And all you'll need for the class is a paper trimmer, adhesive, and a pair of paper snips. That's it. This one. And there's 11 cards here so far. I want one more. We have 2 hours to do it in Lincoln. But at Sunrise we can take a long time. But I loved how all of them came out. They just all came out so adorable. And they're all made with that Memories and More card kit. Sugar and spice and everything nice. So if you buy the kit and you're not able to come to the class, I will do the videos on how I put them together. And, oops, turn that one right side up. And you will have the written instructions. And then one more, there'll be one more card, which I don't know what it looks like yet. It's still in my mind somewhere. And then this is a little box, an easel box. And it opens up here, so you can put goodies in it. And I'll tell you what, the nuggets, the Hershey nuggets do fit in here. There's about a dozen of them fit in here. So you could easily put a dozen in here. So it's just kind of a fun little box with the easel on it. So this email will be going out. The registration for this class will be going out probably tonight or tomorrow. So make sure you keep your eyes open for it. If you are not on my email list and you want to be a part of this, please message me. I will be watching my messages through Facebook, and I just need your email address, or contact me through stampwithdeb.com, and that's stamp, S-T-A-M-P, with Deb, D-E-B.com, and you can always find other ideas and projects there. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.